Hey guys, I'm Dave Townsend, a realtor here in Middle Tennessee, and I wanted to give you a market update on what our county is like right now. That's Maury County, spelled M-A-U-R-Y. We pronounce it as Murray around here, so if you're moving into this area, I highly recommend you adapt the local practices of pronunciation. But I want to give you a good update of what's going on for buyers and sellers in the Maury County market, and that includes towns like Columbia, Culleoka, a little bit of Spring Hill, Mount Pleasant. All those areas are kind of pulled together into Maury County. We are located about 35 to 45 minutes south of Nashville. It really depends on traffic. Some days it might be a lot longer than that if you're trying to commute to Nashville. But anyway, this update will include a lot of those data points that are really important if you're making a decision on buying or selling a home. And things are changing in the real estate market. So it's really important that you understand and know exactly what's going on before you make those decisions. And if you want a specific area that you're interested in highlighted, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get a video up for one of those different areas, whether it be a city, a county, a little region. I mostly work in the Middle Tennessee area, so if you do need real estate help, let me know that too. But let's get into the data.
So let's go ahead and take a look at some of this data. Let's start back in April 2025 and compare it to 2024. We've got the year-over-year change of 18% under our new listings. So in 2025 we had 362 and in 2024 it was 306. So we definitely have more listings on the market hitting in April. The new under contract inventory went down by 13%. So the under contract was 161 in 2025 versus 186 in 2024. So you can see there that there's a little bit of an inventory change going on. We've got more listings and fewer listings are going under contract. So the active inventory change was 56% of an increase. That's quite a few more houses active on the MLS at that time. Under contract inventory was down by 2% year over year. And then the average sale price, it was actually up by 9%. You would think with more listings out there on the market and fewer buyers out there that the pricing would be dropping, but it's not. It was still up a little bit higher. Median sales price there was pretty much no change. Down over here, the months of supply is what we kind of gauge to determine whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. And in this case here, we were at a 3.94%. 3.94. That's how many months of supply we actually have, and that was up 23% over the previous year. And this is a stat that month to month I'm pointing out here because I think it's pretty important so you can see what the trend is going to be. So let's switch to May and see what happened in May. Here we go. So the new listings in May were down by 8%. But the under contract inventory went up by 7%. So that was kind of a bit of an improvement. But May is typically when you expect more people to be out in the market looking for homes. That's typically the peak of the market around here. So the active inventory was up though at 45%. So we had 648 active listings under that month here in Maury County. The under contract inventory went down by 8%, so fewer listings were getting under contract at that point. The average sale price was statistically even with what it was over the previous year, same with the median sales price. Average days on the market closed, it went up 51%, so we were going from 24 to 36. Something to keep in mind is that new construction is put in here, and new construction can skew the market. Sometimes you'll have houses that go under contract before they even get listed, so they end up getting 0 days on the market. You'll also have them skewed the other direction where maybe they did get listed on the market and you've got days of construction included in there, and they typically take a little bit longer. So just keep that in mind for that statistic there. The average list price active at $631,961. Now down here in months of supply, this is where we're seeing a big trend change. It's now at 4.45 months of supply on the market, 47% increase over the previous May. Homes are staying on the market much longer. So skip over to June, and here we go. We've got listings going down by 1%. That's really not a huge deal. That's kind of about the same. So new and under contract also down again. We've got active inventory year over year is up 36%. Under contract inventory down 6%. The average sale price is up to $528,490. So that is up 10% year over year based on that $480,000 that it was the previous year. And then come back down over here to the months of supply again, and you end up with 4.8 months of supply. 6 months supply is typically considered a buyer's market. We are definitely headed in that direction. So you've got 59% year over year change in the months of supply. If we look at the whole market, or the whole 3 months of that Maury County market, you can see here we went from 362 to 364 to 344 in new listings. So fewer people were putting their homes on the market in June. Active under contract listings, we went from 161 to 175 to 182. Active inventory went from 591 to 648 to 663. So we have more active listings on the market just in those couple of months. And part of that is because if you notice here that our new listings are kind of down. Right here it was 364 and 344, but our active inventory has gone up. So homes are sitting on the market a lot longer. They're just taking longer to sell. And you can see here in the months of supply, we've got 3.94 to 4.45 to 4.82. So it's definitely increasing each month. They are sitting on the market longer, which means a very good opportunity, probably the best opportunity in a couple of years for buyers to get on the market, negotiate on some of these houses, and try to make some good deals, or at least some better deals at this point. There's definitely some flexibility in what sellers are willing to offer the buyers, so I definitely recommend you use that to your advantage.
So the disadvantage for buyers right now is that the home prices are still really, really high. They are higher than they have ever been here in the Middle Tennessee area. When you combine that with the interest rates, while the interest rates are kind of at a historical low side, the two together make those payments really high and for a lot of people just unmanageable. So there are definitely some concerns there. And I highly encourage you to use whatever negotiating tactics you can to get those home prices down for yourself when you're purchasing. So if you're thinking about putting your house on the market right now and getting it listed, you need to think about a few things. First off, price it appropriately. You don't want to stick it on the market at a really high price and then have nobody come to see it. You want to price it in the right place. You need to look at the market. You need to see who all is on the market right now in your neighborhood is best. Similar type of houses is what you're looking for. If they are priced on the market at a certain point and they are sitting on the market, that is a key sign that they have priced it too high. So you want to price down below them. You want to kind of lower that price and get it to where the buyers that might have been interested in their house are coming to your house instead. And maybe they're making those offers. The other thing you want to think about is buyers have an expectation when they come into a house, and let's say you're pricing it at $500,000 house. What does that $500,000 house contain? What should it contain? Should there be granite countertops or should it be laminate countertops? Most buyers are going to think it's going to need the granite countertops or quartz, something like that. They're not going to want to come into a house and have to do a huge amount of updates because they just don't have the extra money because they're paying these exorbitant home prices right now. So a lot of them are stretching. So you need to do the updates to be competitive in this market. If your carpet is old, replace it. I know you might think that you want to just see what the buyer wants. You want to see what they want to do. Carpet allowances do not work as well as just replacing the carpet. Just something neutral is fine. And just think of it as a cost of getting the home sold. So if you're listing your home, you can still get a really good value out of your house, but you're going to have to be flexible. Your time frame is going to take a little bit longer, and you're going to have to possibly give the buyers something that they need, whether it be closing costs, point buy downs, or a little bit off the price of the house. So just keep those things in mind. So if you're interested in buying or selling a house here in the Middle Tennessee area, I'll leave my contact info in the description. Feel free to reach out and we can talk about it. Or if you're just wanting to know a little bit more about a different county or area, drop that in the comments and I'm more than happy to do a video similar to this on that area. So I'm Dave Townsend, a realtor here in Middle Tennessee. I'll talk to you next time.